After receiving the order, Shenlang, accompanied by Jin Mufshan, Binner, Little Treasure, Zor King Lai Tangqiu and his wife, Martial Maniac Tang Yan, and a few other scattered individuals, withdrew from the capital in disarray. The populace, witnessing this desolate sight, gossiped endlessly. Parhar, he used to swagger around with hundreds of people, but now he looks dusty and disheveled like a bitter hard sight to get used to. He was ostentatious in his glory days, but now he's pathetic in his decline. It's truly laughable that a mere 6th-rank official once dared to ride his horse down Vermilion Bird Boulevard. His arrogance truly knew no bounds, but now he's worthless, utterly miserable beyond description. It's genuinely pathetic. Now he must sneak through small alleys and use back doors. Hey, just like a stray dub. Shenlang's departure from the capital in this manner marks the temporary end of the show. Despite the gossip and rumors, Shenlang remained unfazed, acting as if he heard nothing, because he knew this entire drama had only just begun. Switching focus to Yanzhou, the Uijugal Palace. At this moment, Bayan Zyro and Jiang Sun were playing Go and chatting. Bayan Zyro, with a cold expression, said, "Sun Dong, I didn't hold Ningjang in high regard at all in the last game. In fact, I couldn't be bothered to care about his intentions. As for Shenlang, I simply regarded him as non-existent and didn't spare him a single glance." Dang Sun raised an eyebrow and asked, "So what about now?" Bayan Zyro nodded, saying, "This person truly is formidable, not ordinary. If Ningjang still had some prospects, I might consider keeping him around." Dang Sun chuckled lightly and asked, "So what about us?" Bayan Zyro burst out laughing and said, "That's right, it's us who are the real comrades with shared ideals. As for matters of self-interest or plotting to form cliques, don't mess things up." Just then, Dang Sun unexpectedly made a move and captured Bayan Zyro's piece while he was distracted, saying, "I'll take this one." When Shenlang left, 5th Prince Ningjang didn't come to see him off. The entire capital erupted in condemnation, calling him heartless and ungrateful. If it weren't for Shenlang, Ningjang would still be a useless person, with no chance of becoming a marquis or being involved with the heavenly pole inspectorate. Although His Majesty stated that no one was obligated to see him off, while others chose not to go, Ningjang's inaction seemed as cold as ice in summer. However, precisely as Shenlang left the city, Ningjang stood on the highest point of the heavenly pole inspectorate's mansion, solemnly cupping his hands in salute, holding the position for 30 minutes. Only after Shenlang had completely disappeared from the city gate did he stand straight, softly saying, "Shenlang, I will not let you down. Thank you for everything you have done for me." The scene brought tears to Wu Lai's eyes. He almost charged over to kill that slave to vent his anger. Master has left, and there is no one left to lead the girls on ostentatious outings. Hanur, who now weighs 138 and 69 kg and has become a stunning beauty, cried until she was breathless. In her eyes, Shenlang was like an immortal, shining brightly. She swore that if she had the capability, she would not let him suffer any humiliation, but sadly, she lacked that power. Lan Dian was no better off, sitting quietly in a corner contemplating life. If not for Shenlang discovering his talent, he would still be a wanderer. If not for Shenlang helping him pass the court examination, he wouldn't be an official today. Shenlang was a pillar of the champion Marquisate and Prince Ningjang. Lan Dian knew that by Ningjang's side, he was just a follower with no real power, while at the Marquisate and Heavenly Pole Inspectorate, Shenlang entrusted all state affairs to him without interference. Ningjang and Lan Dian, starting as two stumbling novices, improved significantly in just a few months. Lan Dian, once a scoundrel, gradually became a genuine official, yet remained uncorrupted by power. Lan Dian had never met anyone like Shenlang. During his time in the capital, Shenlang did only one thing, protect Ningjang and everyone else, shielding them from wind and rain. For the past few months, Ningjang had stayed out of trouble, and Lan Dian and the group lived in peace, all thanks to him. With Shenlang present, even enemies had to hold back. Now he had left, and his departure was also to protect Ningjang. Lan Dian gritted his teeth and promised himself, "The man of principle dies for his intimate friend. I will not disappoint you, nor will I disappoint Prince Ningjang." Shenlang's departure brought secret relief and joy to the Crown Prince, Third Prince, and Hidden Source Society. To be honest, he was simply too unconventional and dangerous. The pressure he exerted in the capital was immense. Yan Wuji spoke frankly, "This Shenlang is truly strange. While he was in the capital, everyone was on edge. Now that he's gone, even the sky seems clearer." Georgian continued, "Without Shenlang, Ningjang is practically back to being useless. It's hard enough for him to protect himself, let alone compete for anything. He poses no threat at all. He's just part of our chaotic mess." Shenlang's tactics are sharp, but he lacks long-term vision. He acts based on emotion, doing whatever he likes without considering the consequences, much like a frog in a well. We took away his 3,700 bloodline inheritors, and he retaliated against the Hidden Source Society, leveling the Grace Offering Tower. While it felt good for him to do it, and his methods were astonishing, what was the real point? He disregarded the consequences. Georgian chuckled coldly, saying, "He doesn't understand how enraged the Hidden Source Society and the Great Yan Empire will be. He thinks the king can protect him, unaware that the king is ruthless, willing to abandon even his main wife when necessary, let alone a troublemaker. Shenlang believes he is clever, but he is actually narrow-minded and unrestrained, making him unreliable." Crown Prince Ningyu sighed. "He's weak himself, yet he still provokes the Hidden Source Society. Indescribably foolish." Georgian asked, "Your Highness, now that Shenlang has left, Should we deal with Ningjang? The Crown Prince nodded. Of course we must. Tan Wuji added. Once we act, we must completely eliminate him. Ningjang doesn't deserve glory. He must pay the price. The Grand Heaven sacrifice ceremony still bothers the Crown Prince greatly. Why did Ningjang get to perform the sacrifice and even shine so brightly? That alone makes him deserve death. We won't kill him now, but once I ascend the throne, I certainly won't let him live. At this moment, he decided to remove Ningjang from the position of Heavenly Pole Inspectorate and find a way to seize the role, turning him back into the useless person he once was. The Crown Prince gave the order to inform Xu Dingyu to begin taking action. The Hidden Source Society gathered at their inner city base. Zhu Jian frowned and said, only when Ningjang falls will order be restored. We must also reclaim the Heavenly Pole Inspectorate position. Xu Dingyu expressed some doubt, wondering if there was clear evidence. Zhu Jian continued, Fu Huan posed as a bandit and killed the entire family of Lotus Prince, and also committed murder against Bai and Shen. That is enough to bring Ningjang down. We can provide witnesses and physical evidence. Xu Dingyu frowned, concerned that bringing this up would implicate Bai and Fei. Does the Crown Prince want to offend Bai and Fei and Bai and Zyro? Zhu Jian laughed coldly and said, we'll just kill Ningjang and Yudra Huan, without touching Bai and Fei. It's like drawing the bow without shooting. We're forcing the king into a tight spot. Xu Dingyu sighed lightly and said, this can be done. Zhu Jian analyzed. His Majesty wanted to deal with Shenlang, but still had to respect the Hidden Source Society and the Great Yan Empire. Taking one step forward requires taking one step back. We only need to frame Ningjang. Bai and Fei's reputation will be in danger, forcing the king to compromise. Besides, Bai and Fei inherently dislikes Ningjang. Xu Dingyu said, Bai and Fei seems to cherish Ningjang, though. Zhu Jian sneered, that's just a pretense. Ningjang once saved her life, which is why she acts this way. When push comes to shove, she will abandon him, or else her reputation will be ruined. Lotus Prince committed countless crimes, and Bai and Fei even wrote a commemoration for him. Bai and Shen was also involved. Isn't the protection? If this comes out, she won't be able to clear her name even if she jumps in the river. To protect herself and the Bai and clan, she will definitely sacrifice Ningjang. Zhu Jian said with absolute certainty that she would be sacrificed. Xu Dingyu nodded and asked, don't you realize? When the Crown Prince, the Hidden Source Society, and the Third Prince join forces, things always go smoothly. We captured the bloodline inheritors, cutting off Shenlang's luck, and forced the king to compromise. With all three sides applying pressure, Ningjang has no way out. Zhu Jian shuffled coldly. The king can't even protect someone who opposes the world, let alone when the Great Yan Empire is behind us. Xu Dingyu suggested, then let's have all three sides apply pressure again. In Zhu Jian's eyes, without Shenlang, Ningjang was just useless trash easily squeezed to death. However, he controlled 2,300 Nirvana army trump cards, which everyone coveted. The Crown Prince wanted to seize them exclusively, giving him wins like a tiger. Zhu Jian concluded, as long as the Crown Prince steps forward and the Third Prince follows, with the Nirvana army in hand, eliminating Ningjang will be as easy as turning over a hand. Xu Dingyu nodded and said, rest assured, the Nirvana army's hierarchy is clear, and they all belong to the Crown Prince's and Third Prince's factions. In their eyes, this is just a piece of meat waiting to be carved. After that, Zhu Jian met with Zuzu, and the two exchanged congratulations, laughing and talking happily together. Charcheru Wenhan spoke up, the three of us have joined forces. How should we proceed this time? Ti led one EBFT Tui led one EBFT smiled faintly and said, please listen closely. Chair Renhan lowered his voice, we target Ninshin. Ti led one EBFT Tui led one EBFT was stunned and asked, is that necessary? Without Th letter 1 EA9 M Lang, Ninshin is just a useless piece of trash, posing no threat at all. We probably don't even need 3 families to cooperate to kill a dog, let alone him. Charcheru Wenhan nodded and said, that's true, but he still controls 10 beggars under Lan Dan and more than 300 Nirvana elites. Isn't letting them stay with him a waste of resources? Ti letter 1 EBFT Tui letter 1 EBFT found this reasonable and nodded. Charcheru Wenhan continued, the Crown Prince will accuse Ninshin of using city guards disguised as bandits to annihilate the entire Lotus family. This is a capital offense. The Third Prince will follow up with corroborating statements. The 3 of us will jointly pressure His Majesty, causing Ninshin to collapse, and the Nirvana army will fall into our hands easily. Ti led 1 EBFT Tui led 1 EBFT asked, what about K8 letter 1 ED5 D stroke letter 1 EA7 Yuhon? Charcheru Wenhan sneered, a useless person will always be useless. No matter how skilled in martial arts he is, it's pointless. He has been dead for a long time. Ti led 1 EBFT Tui led 1 EBFT nodded slightly, finding it reasonable. Cheru Wenhan smirked and said, the 10 brothers will go to the Third Prince, 2,000 Nirvana soldiers will be handed over to the Crown Prince, and the remaining 380 people will belong to the Third Prince. Ti led 1 EBFT Tui led 1 EBFT frowned, then nodded and said, alright, this time, the Crown Prince's faction is taking the lead, and the Third Prince is just assisting. She laughed softly, it's truly disgraceful for a ruler to act like this. Charcheru Wenhan chuckled faintly and said, Ninengai and Hi led 1 EBFN's spirit was once broken, and now it's bent again. If a ruler can't stand tall, what can he possibly achieve? The Third Prince agreed, and that was the end of it. Immediately, the Crown Prince's faction began selecting people to take action. The national ruler had already compromised, and Th1E9M Lang had been banished, making the Crown Prince even more prominent. This matter was considered effortless. Several volunteers were selected from the Censorate, Tali Temple, and Tangang Prefecture. A total of 9 officials had already prepared the impeachment memorial. When Ninchen took control of the Tangang Prefecture, many officials feigned respect but harbored resentment internally. He promoted subordinates and replaced incompetent personnel, making the prefecture operate smoothly and efficiently. However, those who were replaced held grudges. As soon as the Crown Prince gave the signal, these individuals jumped out. They spent an entire day fabricating false evidence, inventing stories, and writing chaotic memorials, making it appear as if the evidence piled up like a mountain. As a result, Ninchen's crimes were greatly exaggerated. Not only did he risk losing his position, but his title was also in jeopardy. KH185D-1EA7 Yu Hon would find it difficult to escape death even if he took action himself. Of course, all the witnesses and physical evidence were fabricated. TH1EA9M Lang and KH185D-1EA7 Yu Hon operated discreetly, leaving no trace. However, political struggle is not a legal trial. The focus is on pressuring the national ruler. Fake evidence is enough to deceive the public, as people are naturally gullible and follow whoever leads them. The Crown Prince was confident that the Great Yan Empire and the Hidden Arjun Society supported them. With pressure from all 3 sides, the national ruler would be forced to concede. To protect BI-1EC7 and Phi, Ninchen had to be sacrificed. Seeking peace through compromise had already led to the loss of peace itself. With Th1EA9M Lang recently banished, the Crown Prince, the Third Prince, and the Hidden Arjun Society had already tasted victory and were preparing to wipe out both Ninchen and the national ruler. The butcher's knife was pointed directly at them. The court session had not even begun this afternoon, yet all officials already knew that trouble was brewing. Everyone felt a storm approaching, filled with both tension and excitement. Prime Minister Chuk Hein reported sick and was absent. The Crown Prince and the Third Prince exchanged knowing glances, implicitly understanding each other. Everyone knew today was the day to deal with Ninchen. With the Crown Prince taking action and the Third Prince assisting, the officials internally sneered. Did Ninchen dare to show his face? Where could he possibly hide now? He might as well just retreat home. The Crown Prince felt slug inside. The 3 major forces had joined hands. This time, Th1EA9M Lang would absolutely not be given a chance to overturn the situation. To preserve BI-1EC7 and Phi's honor, the only way was to sacrifice Ninchen. Thinking of this, he smiled to himself, full of calculation. The Crown Prince was secretly pleased, glancing at the Third Prince. It was rare to see all 3 factions in agreement like today, truly rare and hard to find occurrence. In the court, Prince Uncle Ninkai stood silently like a pillar, almost forgotten. Grand Councilor Nindu approached him for conversation, but Ninkai didn't bother to respond. He already disliked Nindu in his heart. As a royal uncle, Nindu went to fawn over the Crown Prince, which Ninkai found repulsive. He hadn't liked Shenlang before, and now he was even more disgusted with the Crown Prince and Ninkai. In his eyes, the behavior of these people in power didn't resemble those who should bear the responsibility of governing the country. Ninkai knew that he would definitely have to stand up and speak words of fairness later, but he also knew clearly that he alone couldn't reverse Ninjang's fate. Just then, His Majesty arrived. Following the announcement of Grand Eunuch Lai Chen, King Ninjurexian entered and sat majestically on the throne. His face showed a hint of pleasure, but everyone understood it was just a facade. Having just been forced to agree to exile Shenlang, His Majesty was likely facing another major challenge, and all the officials simultaneously looked towards Ninjang. Lang had been exiled, yet Ninjang still remained in court and refused to resign. In this situation, the court offered almost no foothold for him. A storm was waiting to strike, capable of crushing him at any moment. If there's business, present it. Otherwise, adjourn court. As soon as Lai Chen finished speaking, the Crown Prince's faction prepared to step forward immediately, intending to formally impeach Ninjang. But at that very moment, the king suddenly laughed and said he had just received a letter from Prince Uncle Ningang, stating that his health was unstable and he wished to return to the capital to recuperate. As soon as the words finished, the entire court fell silent. The Crown Prince was also startled, feeling restless and uneasy inside. This meant that the position of Grand Governor of Tambay Province would soon be vacant, and it was an extremely important post. The king continued, Prince Uncle Ningang has great merits, so we should allow him to return to the capital to rest. So, what position should we arrange for him to fit? Everyone thought of the Grand Secretariat, but the Grand Secretariat already had enough members, and adding more required structural changes. The king then said, Son's health is weak, and he is recovering from illness. So, should we add another Chancellor? Minister of Personnel, what do you think? The Minister of Personnel, upon being asked, bowed and replied, regarding the Grand Secretariat overstepping its bounds, I ask your majesty to make the decision yourself. Ninurexin said, fine, we will call Prince Uncle Ningang back, add 1 seat to the Grand Secretariat, placing him at the end of the line. The officials turned and whispered to each other, what does this mean? Ningang is part of the royal family, yet he sides with the king. That wasn't all. Ninurexin continued about the Privy Council. Sunan has died, leaving a vacant seat. Originally there were 4 members, but Sairo Guanin is not in the capital. Sunan is gone, and Nangan Hao is preparing to leave. Now only Xiang Ngok remains alone. Dun Ngok, are you busy? Dun Ngok didn't dare say he wasn't busy. In his heart, he wanted to boast that he could handle the burden alone, but he couldn't say it aloud for fear of revealing his ambition for power. He could only reply, Your Majesty is wise and decisive. Nin Yuanxin continued, Prince Uncle Nin Kai once commanded troops, and he is also the Crown Prince's imperial guardian. He might as well make a small effort to assist in the Privy Council and temporarily hold Sun In's position. Nin Kai stepped forward, bowed, and accepted the order. He knew in his heart he wasn't outstanding, but since the task was assigned, he accepted it. He only had a stubborn personality and a straightforward mouth. Nin Yuanxian loudly decreed the appointment of Nin Kai as Grand General of the Garrison Army and Second Deputy Commissioner of the Privy Council. Lai Chen immediately bowed and received the decree. The officials were in an uproar again. The king directly placed 2 royal family members into the Grand Secretariat and Privy Council, 2 positions originally decided solely by the king where officials couldn't interfere. Like the Ming dynasty, even those with great power couldn't appoint themselves. Jiajing or Lunking, though weak, still maintained their chosen personnel. When Lunking died, Bao Gomb, despite his great power, was also cast down and met a tragic end. At this point, Nin Yuanxian looked at the officials with cynical eyes, as if watching a pack of dogs rush towards bait, regardless of whether they ate gracefully or not. But continued, So, who will assume the position of Grand Governor of Tanbei Province? As soon as the words finished, the court was like a boiling pot of water, similar to throwing bait into a fish pond, where everyone rushed forward. The Crown Prince's faction, however, lacked a suitable candidate. Deng Zixu was only fit for the position of middle governor and had not yet cleared himself of bribery charges. Deng Gao had just been dismissed and was full of resentment, making too rapid a promotion inappropriate. At this moment, Dun Ngok stepped forward and presented a memorial, recommending the third prince Nin Kai for the position. The entire court immediately became noisy. Nin Kai maintained his cool composure, but his eyes sparkled brightly. It was difficult to achieve much as middle governor in the capital, but going to Tanbei was different. Being both grand governor and holding power over the entire region, we felt excited just thinking about it. Nin Yuanxin nodded. Nin Kai has done good work for several years, but if he goes to Tanbei, who will take the position of middle governor in the capital? This time, the court didn't just boil. It nearly exploded, as 2 military command positions were being decided upon simultaneously. The third chancellor stepped forward and presented a memorial, recommending Zhang Zhao as middle governor. Nin Yuanxin secretly smiled. The Crown Prince's faction was indeed as passionate as fire. The chancellors in the Grand Secretariat couldn't hold back and rushed in to compete for positions. It was a pity the Crown Prince couldn't speak for himself. Otherwise, Nin would have rushed forward first. He turned to Nin Kai and asked, as someone who has been middle governor for a long time, who do you think is suitable to replace you? Upon hearing this, Nin Kai nearly exploded with joy. For the king doesn't want Zhang Zhao to be promoted. A good thing like this actually exists. It's truly a windfall from heaven. I am already in tears of joy just having secured the position of Governor General of the Northern Heaven Province. Could it be that the position of Governor General of the Vietnamese Heaven Province will also fall into our faction's hands? The image of Chang Yi flashed through his mind. For the king's son-in-law holds diplomacy and intelligence. However, compared to fighting for succession, controlling the capital is more important. So, whom should I recommend? It wouldn't be appropriate for someone from the Privy Council to hold both posts. Though, Bright, my father-in-law, Zai Zu's father, Zai Jai. This person often served as an envoy to Viet. After some thought, he clasped his hands and said, Your subject requests to recommend Earl Wuan, Zai Jai. As soon as the words left his mouth, the officials in the Crown Prince's faction nearly fell over backward in shock. Nin Kai was acting like a starting tiger. Holding the position of Grand Governor General of Northern Heaven wasn't enough. Now he wanted to push his father-in-law into the Governor General of Vietnamese Heaven position. If this happened, he would hold 3 of the 5 Governor General positions in the realm. Wouldn't his power completely overshadow the Crown Prince? Immediately, the Crown Prince's faction simultaneously stood up to object to Zai Jai holding the Governor General position. However, instead of directly attacking, they vaguely argued that the position of high official station in Yan capital was extremely important and he could not be allowed to leave. The Crown Prince and Juran looked at each other, anxiety evident in their eyes. They had originally planned to pressure the king alongside the third prince, using the opportunity to eliminate Ningjang, who knew the situation would reverse, turning into a counterattack on the Crown Prince's faction. The king truly seemed to have gone mad, turning around and striking back at them. Sure enough, Ning Yuanxin slowly said, Zai Jai as Governor General of Vietnamese Heaven sounds acceptable. As soon as these words were spoken, the Crown Prince's faction felt chills run down their spines. His Majesty really wanted to play a high-stakes game, elevating the third prince to the sky just to pressure the Crown Prince. How were they supposed to handle this now? Their expressions kept changing. The matter of accusing Ningjang was completely forgotten. Immediately after, each person knelt down flat, kowtowing repeatedly like pounding rice. Their flattering gazes fixed on the king. They continuously begged His Majesty to reconsider. Seeing the scene, the king was inwardly pleased. How satisfying. Shenlang's strategy before leaving was truly brilliant. The fragile alliance between the Crown Prince and the third prince burst like soap bubbles. Ning Yuanxin continued, Prince Ning Kai, the position of Governor General of the Western Heaven Province has been vacant for a long time. We previously intended to give it to Zhang Zihui, but investigation showed he lacked ability. So, whom should we choose now? Upon hearing this, the Crown Prince's faction felt their hair stand on end, a complete chill running down their spines. What exactly did His Majesty intend to do? Could he possibly want to change the successor? Was he planning to completely withdraw all power from the Crown Prince by seizing all 5 Governor-General positions? Prince Ningkai did not agree, only bowing and saying, "This matter is significant and requires careful deliberation." Ningjang nodded and said, "Then we shall discuss it later. Let us conclude today's court session first." When the court adjourned, the third prince's faction was overjoyed, as if they had struck gold. The Crown Prince's faction, however, had faces as grey as ash, drooping like wet chickens. At first they were laughing and talking, but now they looked at each other like mortal enemies. The Zhen loudly announced the adjournment of court. The Crown Prince's faction was choked with frustration. Everyone knew His Majesty was elevating the third prince to strike at them and break up the alliance. But so what? The third prince's faction was as pleased as punch, and they had no choice but to endure their anger.